Got it.
Hey, everybody. It's Michael Bryson coming back to you with This is Bodybuilding. It's the first video I've done all season long. And who better to do it with than our new 212 Texas Pro Champion, Kerrith Bajjo. Kerrith, how you doing, brother?
Doing good, Michael. How's things?
Oh, excellent, man. I had a great weekend. I got to see the Texas Pro.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. In the words of Ronnie Coleman.
Yeah.
Yeah,
congratulations. Congratulations, man.
Thank you, man. Yeah, it was a great weekend. Actually, you know, I'm not even gonna lie. It was a great past 2 weeks. Tampa was good, you know, Texas was good. You know, not a bad week.
No, you had a pretty good time. I thought, you know, Tampa, I wasn't there, of course, for Tampa, but watching video and seeing pictures, and I'm not taking anything away from Keon because he's an amazing athlete, but I had you winning that show. Just conditioning alone. I thought your conditioning, you know, that sometimes it doesn't translate on, you know, photos, but when you can see a difference that's pretty stark between two people, you can kind of tell. And then once I saw you in person in real life, I mean, you're so, that was one of the more gnarly physiques that I've seen on stage.
Thank you, yeah. Thank you. All credits due to my coach, Justin Miller. You know, he gave me the proper guidance in this prep, and I got to say, you know, I don't want to say it was easy. Don't get it twisted. But in comparison to previous preps, I will say that I would do this 100,000 times before I ever do that once ever again.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I hope that shines some light on.
What were some of the pluses to the prep? What was so good about it?
All I could say is the less is more principle is a real thing. You know, sometimes we just go too hard. We get wrapped up in the process and we think, hey, you know, just a little bit more is going to get you there. It's going to get you a little bit more peeled. When in actuality, it's, let me dial this back and, you know, see what happens. And we did just that. You know, a lot of people don't know this, but there was a stretch of my prep. I wasn't even able to work out. Couldn't even do cardio. You know, I had an issue with my knees. You know, God bless my chiropractor. He saved this prep. You know, that's why I had to shout him out at the, you know, acceptance speech.
Yeah.
You know, so he treated my knees, and then post that, I got COVID. 2.5 years. I dodged this thing. Then I get hit with COVID. So I'm out for the, you know, a good 2 weeks. I couldn't really do any cardio, just taking it easy, just focusing on diet. And, you know, ultimately it turned out to be the right thing to do. Who would have known? Right.
Try to do that again before the Olympia. Try to get COVID. No, I'm just kidding. Don't do it. How far out before Tampa was it when you got the COVID?
We were heading into week 7, if that puts things into perspective. And we realistically had to take 3 weeks to get better. So in week 4, we said, the hell with it. Let's just see where it goes. You know, at that point, I had it in my mind, like, all right, start thinking about Texas because Tampa probably isn't going to happen. But somehow, some way, you know, it all fell into place.
Wow. That's incredible that you managed to look like that.
Yeah.
That's incredible. And you could have just easily won that show and been one and done. But yeah. I'm kind of glad that you didn't win that show because I got the chance to see you on stage. I wasn't going to go to Tampa, but I was able to go to the Texas Pro.
All you had to do was invite me.
Yeah.
All you had to do was invite me.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It was pretty amazing. I thought the show, the Texas Pro, was pretty stacked. Talent was amazing.
Yeah, I was very shocked at what Jordan Janowitz brought. Cody, I saw Cody the week before, and I got to tell you, man, this kid, watch for that guy. Watch for that guy. I called it today. I even told him that he is a threat. He is a threat going forward. So people do not sleep on Cody Drobot.
No, I think Cody Drobot is a future 212 Olympia champion, or at least a very top contender. He's
absolutely.
Beautiful physique. You have that extra level of maturity and density and the gnarliness that was just, kind of lights out. So,
a lot of the times I struggle to see that until I stand next to these guys, and then I understand it a little bit better.
mhm.
But in my head, the body dysmorphia thing, it's kind of real. So I
Yeah,
don't see that part of it until I stand next to someone. Then I can get a better understanding for what people are talking about when they talk about that graininess, that denseness, that old man muscle.
yeah. Like I told you on Friday that you remind me of Jose Raymond quite a bit in terms of
My
that
guy.
density, the graininess, the size, the thickness. You might be a little more aesthetic than Jose, but Jose didn't really lack for aesthetics. He posed
No,
so
not at
aesthetically
all.
well. I mean, but yeah, you kind of remind me of him, and honestly, he's my second favorite 212 bodybuilder of all time in terms of like his level of greatness. I think.
I agree. I got him right there too. I
Yeah,
got him right there too.
yeah.
But
I didn't,
yeah, I take that as a big compliment because guys like that, they're special. And for me to be mentioned in the same breath, hey, thank you. You know,
uh,
um, so yeah, I call him my little body double. Not little,
yeah.
he's
Yeah,
still he's still the mass.
yeah, yeah, he's
But,
awesome. An awesome guy
he's
too.
a good dude. Good dude.
The
He's always been in my corner since day one.
oh, that's cool. Yeah, he's a really good guy. He's been supportive of my page too, and just a great dude. One of the most impressive physiques I've ever seen was when I went to the New York Pro that he won, the last one that he won. It just that gnarliness again was just it's just like
Yeah,
something out of this world. And that
absolutely.
at this show, the Texas Pro, the guys in second and third were highly conditioned. It wasn't that they were not in shape. It's just that you
Right.
were on that next level, and certain poses when you hit, like when you hit your most muscular, it's just like what the. It's like a crazy. The vascularity, the graininess, it's very impressive.
Thank you. Thank you. We had to work hard on that one, man, because between you and I hated that pose for me. Like
Most muscular.
I hated the most muscular. Like, but all the poses that I used to hate have now become my strong suit.
What are your favorite ones? What are your
All the new ones that I've really gotten good at. For instance, I think my front doubles come up a lot.
very good?
My most muscular, my crab. I've modified just about everything that I've done, having working with Justin. But my ab and thigh, little tweaks that I did to my ab and thigh that made a huge difference. It displays my aesthetics better than my old posing. And going forward, I think I got to ride this wave. And until this stops working, we're gonna keep it the same because right
Yeah,
now I'm my own worst critic. It impresses me.
good.
Yeah.
It should. I think that's a good pose for you. Actually, all the poses you just mentioned are really good poses, but I think your side chest is
Oh,
really phenomenal. Your side
people,
poses are phenomenal because you're the leg separation you have in the side leg. It's
yeah.
nutty, and
Thank
it's
you.
sort of like there's guys like Rami that have that. Akeem has
Akeem's got
a bit
it.
of that.
Yeah.
These big dudes. You're a big dot guy for your division. Although you weren't this time around, it's an
Huh.
illusion, right?
Yeah.
You're like
I
199.
sell, I sell it well. I was
Yeah.
actually 198 in the
Mhm.
morning.
Okay.
Probably 199, 200 on stage. And we ate a lot more going into this week than we did for the previous week. But trial and error. That was our first time working together, going through a peak week. And now we got a better understanding. We can even put in more food. So
True.
I believe in the next show, we will see a more fuller version of myself. And keep in mind, we have probably about 12 to 15 pounds worth of wiggle room. So we can grow into this show, and I have no problem putting on muscle. It's actually, it's a convenient issue to have.
Yeah.
But we just don't want to grow too fast and get too sloppy. So we're going to pace ourselves and do things properly.
Yeah. That's good. Yeah. You had great, the fullness was there without any sort of stomach distension. Um, you nailed it perfectly.
And even that, I think we can get better about that because, A lot of people don't know this about me. I've always been able to vacuum, but I've never done it on stage. And it wasn't up until 2 weeks before Tampa I convinced Justin to let me do it, because
Mhm.
he was always saying, dude, don't vacuum, just don't do that, don't do that. You know, he's like, that's not you, that's not your look. You're powerful, you know, show that imposing presence, you know. But then I hit it, and then he was like, well, I should say, all credits to Lori on this one. I hit it when we were at MI40, and Lori captured a shot, and she was like, Kerrith, you have to post this. And I was like, Lori, I
I've
have
seen
to.
that picture. Oh, that was her. She took that picture.
She took that picture,
I thought that was
and
Ricky Latz. Okay, that's a great
no,
picture.
Ricky had it, but he was taking from a different angle.
Okay.
So she was right in front of me. Ricky was in back of me, and she captured it perfectly. So I sent it to Justin. Justin was like, no, we're not gonna post it. Nah. He comes over to the room probably 2 hours later. He's like, you know what? To hell with it. We're posting that picture. So we posted that picture, and you know, I'm not the most popular guy on social media, but for me, it went viral. So
That's awesome.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know, again, to bring back Jose Raymond into it, he would hit the vacuum in his front double. There's no more
yeah,
powerful physique than that. So I think it's
yeah.
what's great about that when you hit things like that in certain poses and you show your aesthetics. And then
Hmm.
in your most muscular, you hit the crab. There's no doubting, there's no denying the muscularity. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So it shows the best of both worlds, your dense mass as well as the ability to hit aesthetic poses.
right, right, yeah. You know, so I think a mixture of both is what you really need to be a champion. You know, you can't just rest on one thing. You know, like Shaq, he was a big guy, but he also showed that he could move.
Yeah.
You know, Akeem, big guy, you know, but he showed that he had flexibility. He had a hook shot, you know,
Yeah. Very true.
so you got to be multifaceted.
Right. Yeah. Um, and with the most muscular, one of the times when you were out there, one of the call outs, you didn't hit the crab. You did everything,
Yeah.
you did other things. You did the crab is a must. I'm telling you, your crab is crazy. Not that the other
You,
poses are bad, but
you
the
know what?
crab,
I started to hit it, and then Tyler said switch.
relax.
Yeah, yeah, and I was like, oh, it was right
Okay.
there.
Okay. All right.
Go back and watch it. Go back and watch it. I'm going through the motions, and I get the arms up, and
And
he's
then,
like, next pose. Yeah.
yeah. Okay. All right. How did you feel about the way the show was run?
Oh man, all credits to Freddie Nadeau and Sheila Flexi Brown. This thing was seamless from front to back. Like, this seemed like something that they could make happen every single day. It was so smooth. It was so methodical, so thought out. You know, at the venue, it was beautiful. You know,
Yeah.
I got done, and I had to tell him, like, listen, this is beautiful, because it reminded me of a diet version of the Olympia.
Yeah. The
You
lighting
know,
was great. They had the pyro at the end, you know, with the
oh yeah.
champion.
You know, I
Um,
mean, from what I'm told, Whitman created the lighting,
yeah, yes,
and who better than that, right? You
right.
know, shout out
Well,
to
he
Will.
knows that it's very smart to take advice from people like Will and JM in terms of the light. The
Yeah,
photographers, they know what's going to look better because you know what happens sometimes. There's no thought put into that at all for a lot of
yeah,
shows. Photography lasts forever. So the only thing you
absolutely.
have to look back on, so usually sometimes is really crappy lit pictures, and it
Yeah,
doesn't do justice to the athletes at all.
yeah. I mean, you work so hard to present this physique, and it looks like you're taking pictures in your mama's basement.
Yeah,
You know, it's not fair to the athlete. It's not fair to the photographer, because now they're working under lesser circumstances when they didn't
right,
really need to. A little bit of adjusting could go a long way. You
right.
know, turn this light this way, turn this light this way. But it seems like they had this thing figured out, soup to nuts.
Yeah,
Um, Everyone looked great on stage. It translated well in video. It translated well in photography. I can't speak on the live stream. I heard, you know, some things about the live stream, but
oh
that can
really?
go either way. If somebody has bad bandwidth, you know how that goes.
Yeah,
Um, but that said, being in the venue and watching the athletes up on stage, wow,
yeah,
wow.
yeah.
You
That's
got to see, you
kudos
got
to
to see
Will for the
showcase.
suggestion. Mhm. Sorry.
Yeah. No, no, no. I was just saying you got to see people showcase their best.
Yeah,
No question.
no
Yeah.
question. Yeah, and that's great that Will was able to do that, and that Freddie and Sheila were open to hear it and do it.
Yeah.
Those guys, they're former athletes themselves. Freddie was on the Olympia stage
Yep.
and physique, so
Yeah.
they know the importance of that sort of thing. And it's great that they seem to be very. A lot of promoters see this is a thing. A lot of promoters are think about, I think, just themselves in terms of how they can make money. But Freddie and Sheila, I think, have a bigger scope of vision. Like if you think of the athletes, you think of the audience, you're gonna make money because it's gonna be a show that everyone's gonna want to go to year
A
after year.
destination
They're
show.
going to compete at.
Yeah. Yeah.
It,
Well, I had said that to Freddie. I was like, this is going to be a destination show.
yes,
I
yes,
can't speak for other promoters. I don't know what their motive is, but I will say that it felt as if everything was about the athletes
yeah.
at this show. You know, and it was a pleasurable experience, man. I wish I wish I did have a cheat meal. And I wish there was another show. I would do that this week.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Call me a glutton for punishment.
right. um, so your plans now for the Olympia? What are you taking any time off, or what are you doing? Back into it right away.
Do you know who my coach is?
Yeah,
Okay. Well, what's
I
this
know.
time
You said
off?
you had to get off of this to go do cardio pretty soon, so I know.
Right, right. Well, no, no. Justin wants to get back to work. I actually go see him Thursday. I'm imagining he's gonna chew me out, but you know, I'll take it. I'll take it and I'll apply that criticism and I'll only get better. You know, he holds no punches.
That's good,
Yeah.
but at the same time, he's not an asshole.
No, no, no. He's
Yeah,
realistic about it. And if anybody's to give me a gut check, it's either him or Lori, straight up. Like they're not gonna hold any punches. You can listen, you're fat. You know, they'll tell me as is, you're out of shape, you know, I don't see it. Or if they see it and I don't see it, they'll let me know. Like, hey, no, you're wrong. You know, it's not always yes, man. It's definitely not a yes man thing with them.
good. Yeah, you don't, and that's something you don't need and don't want.
Not in bodybuilding.
Not a bodybuilder.
Not in
Uh,
bodybuilding. When you're trying to present the best version of self, you need somebody that's going to be raw.
right.
Yeah.
Is for you the dieting and the cardio and getting in shape, like, is that hard for you on a psychologically, mentally, as well as physically, or are you pretty good with it?
I like to say that it completes me. You know, it might be masochistic behavior to some, but you know, without that structure, Michael, I'll struggle. I'll do stupid stuff. So this gives me balance to my everyday. You know, sometimes people search for a higher purpose. They might go to church. This is my temple. You understand? So when all these things are clicking for me, things around me start to fall into place and they all start to make sense. You know, I'm more cognizant when I'm in a prep mode. You know, if I'm just going through life eating whatever I want to eat, it's kind of the way I live my life. I do whatever I want. When I have prep in my life, I have structure. I live by a schedule. I'm scheduling clients and things fall into place accordingly. You know,
Right.
I think that for me, um, even if bodybuilding wasn't a thing, living my life in such a fashion would be the right way for me to do things.
That's good.
Yeah.
Um, for this Olympia, are you thinking of? Is there any changes that you're having to do, or just pretty much sticking to the game plan that you've been following?
I mean, if it ain't broke,
Right.
don't fix it, right? So,
Right.
you know, I would like to say I know the game plan, but Justin's a master, he's a mastermind when it comes to these things. So I'm gonna allow him to, you know, take control of the helm and pretty much determine what I need to do. He's been in this position more than I have, And that's why he's, on the team, like, definitely. And that's why I'm on his team, because his opinion is highly coveted, a guy like that tells you something, you got to listen to it.
Right.
You
And I
know?
think that's good. And it takes trusting in the coach. And it has to be someone that has earned trust with the track record and just, someone like Justin Miller. It takes a stress off of you to not have to worry about certain things. You don't have to second guess things. If you see things going wrong, you can speak up. But I think he's also someone that can listen to the athlete as well.
For sure. And he'll tell me, listen, you might hate me. You might hate me the next couple of weeks. And I'm like, Justin, there's not much you could do to make me hate you more than I already do. No, I'm kidding. No, but yeah, like he'll tell me, like, straight up, dude, like, I'm gonna be real with you. And I'm like, well, why would you be fake with me? Like,
Right.
so, he lets me have it, man. When somebody's got to drop the hammer on me, I'm sure he's gonna be the first one to drop it.
That's good. Last year at the Olympia, I met you that Sunday after at the I guess the seminar that happened.
Yeah.
You placed 8th. Am I correct?
I got 8th. Yep.
Yeah. I thought that you looked like you could have been in the top 6 to me.
Thank you.
Yeah. You said that you were having some issues with leg pain or sciatic pain type of thing.
So what it turned out to be is my SI joint was out of alignment. It's pushing on my piriformis. That was irritating my sciatic nerve. And all while that was going on, I tore my gluteal. So it was it was a recipe for a perfect storm. What that basically did was anytime I tried to engage my muscles on my left side, my leg would shake uncontrollably as if I was having a seizure. Even now, like, I still feel some sensation there, but that's where my chiropractor's come into play. And he's, since figured out how to get that SI joint back into place, and this is just something that you got to deal with. That's just age. And, we fight the good fight.
And that's something that didn't really happen until the moment you were on the stage. Am I correct?
Right. So I'm thinking it was kind of like I was hyper depleted. And when you're in that state, you're highly vulnerable to anything. Like, somebody sneezes on you, you're getting pneumonia.
Right.
So it's kind of one of those situations where you really go through the process hoping for the best, hoping that nothing happens. Unfortunately, it happened at the highest point of the highs.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's an experience you had, but you made it through it, and now I think
we're ready this time.
What's that?
We're ready this time. We're ready this time. We know how to handle it. We know how to handle it this time, and we'll just be more prepared going into this, knowing that may happen or may not happen. We know how to treat it if it does happen, and
And if it happens, you know what's happening. There had been a weird sensation being on stage and this weird thing's happening to you, and not understanding, what it was. But I was watching you. I didn't know that you were going through any sort of experience. So,
you got to smile through the pain, Michael.
Yeah.
You don't let them see you. You don't let them see you in pain, man.
Yeah. Well, some people have done that, though. I've seen people showing signs on stage of unpleasant things going on, but no, you held it together. This year. So what's the goal this year? 7th? I'm kidding. You're going there to win it, yeah?
That's it. I want to put up these binoculars.
Right.
Yeah, no, we want to come home with the title, man. All due respect to my competition. I have a feeling. Can I make a prediction?
Absolutely.
Top 5. Sean, in no particular order.
Okay.
If I am going to do an order, you know who I'm going to put number 1.
Right, of course.
So in no particular order, you got Sean, Clarita, Derek, Lunsford, Kamal, Keon, and myself.
That's my 5. Yeah.
I foresee that being the most muscular top 5 212 lineup ever.
Yeah. I was watching today on Muscular Development YouTube. I watched a number of the routines from the show, from the Texas Pro, the 212, and then the awards. And when Keon came out to give you the award, I thought that was awesome. And the thought that went through my head was, those guys are both going to be in the top 5 this year. And
yeah,
I'm sure it's going to happen.
It was an awkward moment because I saw Keon backstage and I wasn't really sure why he was backstage. And then when he brought out the trophy, I was like, okay, all right, well, it's kind of weird, you know, that the guy that beat me last week has to bring the trophy. But you know, cool. And he was a stand-up guy about it. You know, he could have threw the 50-pound trophy at me and been like, here, you know,
but how cool was it? Your picture was on the plaque. Like, I guess they had like the top 5 all lined ready for that, or how did they do that?
Well, let's keep it real. It's not the most high grade photo, but it was printed out pretty expeditiously.
That was very fastly done. It looked cool from the stage. It was like, wow,
it's the coolest thing I ever got. Like, honestly, and I could tell you about getting it home. It's a hilarious story. But it was just super cool. Probably the coolest trophy that I've ever received. And you know, I'm happy that Keon was the one that was able to bring it out, because we have a mutual respect for each other. We talk to each other behind the scenes. He pushes me, I push him, and you know, it's all love at the end of the day. You know, that's brother in iron.
That's great. Yeah, Keon's a great guy. I really have a lot of respect for Keon.
Absolutely, absolutely. He's young and he conducts himself with, you know, a very high business acumen. You know, he's very professional when he's out there. Like, make no mistake. Yeah.
Yeah, and a beautiful physique.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's a twice in a lifetime type of thing. You know, you don't see structures like that. You know, but you know, with all due respect, I want to beat him too.
Oh, of course. And I thought in all honesty, and I'm not the only one that said that. I heard other people telling you that backstage at Texas Pro who kind of know what they're talking about as well. And I should say, not that as well as if I know what I'm talking about, but I think it was a general consensus that was probably your show.
It could have went either way. You know, and I'm, like I said, I'm not bitter about it. Justin gladly reminds me that, you know, sometimes in loss, that could turn out to be your biggest victory. And I think this one here is one of those circumstances where, you know, I gain more notoriety out of losing this previous show than winning it would.
Right.
You know, and you know, it's kind of like, I don't want to say I got the people on my side, you know, but among my peers, I get a good vibe from them.
That's great.
Having placed second at that show.
And Cody seemed to have a tremendous amount of respect for you as well.
Oh, that's a cool guy, man. Cody the Canadian. Cody is cool dude, man. His wife is cool too. I'm sorry, fiance, soon to be wife. Yes, and you know, mutual respect. Absolutely. You know, he actually said one of the nicest things that, you know, you could possibly say to a guy in his underwear without trying to get in his underwear. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, he did say that I made him feel welcome as a pro, because it was his pro debut, which he knocked it out the park. All credits to him and Neil Hill, because they killed it. You know, I wish my pro debut went as smoothly as theirs did.
Yeah.
You know, and then he doubled up. He doubled up the week following and brought a better package. So, you know, I hope he's not done. I heard that he might be doing a show in Vancouver. Best of luck to you, Cody, if you do choose to do that. But, you know, either way, next couple of years, this kid is going to be a headache. He's going to be a migraine.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's great. I was very impressed with Janowitz too.
Yeah, Jordan.
Jordan.
That's a whole lot of muscle, man. You know, at first I
Yeah,
didn't believe
that's
it.
a guy who I'm like, that's 212. Like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, I didn't understand it because I'm like, he's got my density, but he's bigger.
He's
You know,
taller, right?
he might have an inch or two on me,
An inch or
but
two.
it's very well balanced.
Yeah.
That's the thing. So even though he has an inch or two on me, it just looks like a more full physique.
Yeah. I
You
think he's
know,
going to. Took him a long time. It took him a while to turn pro. There was a bunch of different pro shows that I thought, oh, he's going to turn pro, and he didn't
yeah.
turn pro. Now that he
I
is,
don't know too much about him. I only heard of him recently when we started following each other on Instagram, and yeah, like he was the hype. Those weren't filters.
I used to follow the amateur stuff a little bit closer than I do now, and there were years during when I was doing this bodybuilding where I was like, yeah, this guy's going to turn pro this time, and he didn't, but he finally did. And what he, that type of thing sometimes pays off because that he's got that maturity, the muscle maturity look to him now that probably didn't have a couple years ago. So
yeah, I don't know how old Jordan is, but
he's not very.
If I'm to estimate, he's got to be over 35, right?
I don't know. I don't know. It's a good question.
Either way, bright future for him.
Yeah.
And I'm impressed. I'm a fan.
And then go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just saying that's a whole lot of muscle, especially for 212.
Yeah, he's someone I can see eventually moving up to open, I think.
Yeah, I think he weighed in at 212.
Okay.
So that should tell you everything you need to know.
Right. Exactly.
This sport is all about progression. Look at Nathan.
Right. Yeah. That was interesting. I was expecting him to be in the 212s. I didn't hear that he had moved up until that day at the show. So
yeah. I was somewhat relieved. Nathan, I love you, man. He always brings a good package to the stage. So, hearing that he went up to the open, I was like, well, that's where he should have been in the first place. But it always impressed me that he managed to suffer, get in the 212 and, be one of the more shredded guys on stage, with good lines. But I think he held himself back doing that because his ceiling is very high.
I agree.
And I think he's far off from hitting his ceiling. So he's got years and years of growing to do. And plus, he's still really young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Ricky Moten was fourth place.
Fourth, yeah. Ricky looked phenomenal.
Really did. Yeah.
Yeah. Ricky's got those open shoulders. He needs to be an open as well. I actually suggested to him, I hope he doesn't mind me saying this, but I told him, don't shut it down. You should do Legion Fest. Try and jump up into the open. Even if you do it at the end of the year, you still have time to prep, for another 4 months or so before the season starts.
Yeah, I'd love to see him do that, actually. The day he had eaten a lot of food Friday night, I guess, and Saturday night, he was in a tank top backstage and looked phenomenal. Like he was much bigger, he was fuller, and I was like, what the hell? So yeah, I definitely think open for him as well.
I think
beautiful
Legion Fest would be a perfect fit for him.
I agree. That's a good idea.
It's not too far off. He could eat going into the show. What's he got to lose?
Yeah, nothing. Zero.
Ricky, Legion Fest.
Yes. What do you have anything that you wanted to speak about the show or your experience?
Oh man, dude, I could tell you so much. I could tell you how we were stuck in the airport for 3.5 hours. We didn't land till 4:20. We had to wait for luggage for an hour. Then we get to the hotel. The hotel tells us, hey, you didn't call. And I'm like, yes, we did. And they're saying, no, you didn't. We gave away your room. We're sold out for the night. So we almost didn't have a place to stay. Imagine my stress level right now.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was just happy to make it to Dallas. I was like, listen, we'll stay at Motel 3.5 if we
Yeah.
have to. It didn't matter. We're here now. But luckily, she got us the room. It
Okay.
was an awesome little apartment hotel. And the rest is history, man. I barely got any sleep on Thursday.
Wow.
So, Friday I got a little bit of sleep, enough to catapult me to a victory. But I guess that might be the formula.
Yeah.
you know? Yeah. So everything fell into place, man. God is good, and the devil didn't win that day.
Right.
Yeah.
So did you, I know you left, you weren't there for Saturday.
I did not get to stay for Saturday. We had to come back and get to work, man. That's always the letdown. Reality has to kick in at some point. I get to live my hobbies and my dreams on the weekend. And then, when it's time to go back to work, we got to do the real stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was then, Andrew jacked.
He looked phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like, he looked huge with clothes on. Steve as well. I saw all these guys that check in, and they look huge. Even his name, Big Bad Bundy.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
That's a massive human being.
Yes. And he was very impressive, because I saw him last year, and I didn't think too much of him, in terms of like, to think that he would be a threat at this show. And he really brought it. Just bigger, solid, really solid. His color was good. Everything was good about him. He's got a
separation, had good lines. Quad sweep was crazy. Waist was tapered.
Yeah.
Shoulders were on point. I think he's overlooked. He's overlooked. I think he could have placed higher even. Could be argued.
Could be argued.
Yeah.
With Andrew, I think that some of the top guys were, both Steve and Martin, I will say, were more conditioned, more highly conditioned from the back when you look at their glutes and hams and such.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes it's, I don't know. There's a lot of, Andrew's got a lot of tools,
Right. And, it's easier to say that shows are won from the back. Make no mistake, all the poses are worth equal value. So while it might look impressive from the back, all the poses are worth the same amount of points.
Right.
So,
also, like, even if it comes down to, there's 8 poses, you want to win the most poses, but it's also sometimes, I think, how much you win a pose by. Do you know what I mean? If the back poses are all like, okay, that guy's a little bit better, but then if the front double or the most muscular, you're just blowing them away.
Lights out, yeah.
It just makes a stronger impact. And I didn't know what to expect with that guy coming into the show. I thought maybe he's all hype. You don't know. I have to see him standing next to these other guys. He's very real.
He held his own. He definitely held his own. Shout outs to him. Like, I haven't met him. I walked past him, but yeah, he was very impressive. You can usually, I've been around this long enough to know when it's the hoodie size. You know what I mean? The hoodie's giving someone an extra 2 inches on their shoulder. It wasn't even that with him. He was just impressive in street clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's sort of like with you. I was pretty sure you were going to win the show just before the show, and I saw you fully clothed. Yeah. I was like, oh shit, he's shredding. I didn't have to see anything but the face. So
we the face down, man.
Yeah.
Justin might be mad that I filled out this fast, but my cheeks hurt when I stay that way.
I can imagine. I mean, and I have to imagine, because my cheeks are nowhere near that. But yeah. Anybody that you want to thank or talk about, or?
Oh man, let me start off by saying,
don't forget your coach.
I'm gonna thank Justin. Justin Miller, my guy. Thank you so much. You got me through one hell of a prep. 2 shows went flawlessly. We couldn't have done anything better. I want to thank, Tim Gardner, Tampa Pro, Wings of Strength. That show was awesome. Definitely Battle Up Productions, Battle Up Media, Freddie, Sheila, thank you so much. Sarah Villegas, Ali, definitely, all you guys, Will Whitten, man, like everybody, dude, like everyone came together and gave me what I felt was a phenomenal, 2 weeks. It was just, it's kind of whirlwind for me. For what I do, I'm at the top of the world of what I do right now, and it's fun. I'm owning the moment.
Yeah, that's good. It's good to enjoy it while it's happening.
And she doesn't want me to thank her, but I thank my lady. I always thank her. If she tells me not to thank her, and if I didn't, oh God, you know how tonight would go. Let me just thank her anyhow.
She's great. Lori's awesome, and it was a shame when you didn't mention Justin on stage. I knew it was.
God, you had to remind me about it.
No, I just knew that it was like a brain fart.
Yeah.
And but those things happen.
Yeah. No, I'll tell you this. Last year when I won in Tampa, I forgot to shout out my mother. And
that was all important.
As soon as I got home, oh my God, I got it. So she chewed me out. And that was all that was on my mind. Make sure you thank Mama. So I thanked Mama, and I forgot Justin. And I was like, Justin, dude, you got to understand what was going on here, man.
Yeah, well, Mama's definitely
on my mind.
important. Yeah.
But, all due respect to Justin, man, thank you. That guy is awesome. Straight up. He's a coach. He's a friend. That guy's a friend for life, man. Straight up.
Yeah, I had this feeling that you guys were going to be just a great team.
You called it.
Yeah, last year when I wasn't sure about Justin when after the Olympia happened, losing George, whether he would want to stay in the game or not, because he was having those doubts. But I thought, man, no, once I met you on Sunday and I spoke with you, I was like, dude, I think this guy, he could do something with this guy. They would click. And I'm glad that happened. So
yeah, no, it all fell into place, Michael.
Yeah.
And in some weird way, I got to thank you for making that happen. Like Justin was one of the guys that I wanted to reach out to. And, hearing you tell me who he is was kind of reassuring that notion. So I followed through on it, man. And
good,
hey,
I'm glad.
Look at that. We got one hands down win and maybe one controversial.
Yeah. I mean, come on, two successful
presentations. Two successful shows. Yeah.
Yes, they were both successes in their own ways, and definitely. I mean, your physique last year was great. I'll be honest with you. I saw you years ago at a New York Pro. I can't remember what year it was.
Probably 2019.
Who won that year?
That was the year.
Sean?
Ahmad Ashkanani. Then it was Eduardo Carrera. And then
that was Was that the only New York Pro?
No, the year prior. That was Sean. Sean won.
And you were in that show too?
Yes. Ahmad got second. I forget who got third, but I was actually expected to get 11th. And then they rejudged the second call outs. They bumped me up to 8th.
The first year or the second year?
That was the first year. Second year I did it, I got third.
Oh, how about that?
So they missed me, but then, they ultimately did see me, and they rejudged the second call outs.
See, and I was at both of those shows, and I have to say, you didn't
missed me
stick out
too.
in my mind.
You missed me too.
Yeah, I did. I missed you. But last year, you don't you think last year was sort of like a higher point for you?
Here's the thing, Michael. I will say this humbly. Every year that I've prepped, my progress is undeniable. Like, if you go back and you follow me, every year I've gotten better. A lot of people, they struggle to see it, but hands down, every transformation that I go through, you see a different person. You see a statue that's kind of getting more chiseled. more finite details as you go on. And I haven't gotten there yet. The masterpiece isn't complete yet.
Yeah. Well, that's a good thing. You keep on moving that direction. I mean, I thought last year, but last year was when I was like, oh wow, this guy's, seriously good. And then when I saw you at the Olympia on stage, I thought, like I said, I probably had you in top 6. And yeah, so and then this week was phenomenal. So I think your goal of the Olympia win is something that is super attainable and something I'm excited to see happen.
Thank you. Oh, also one other person, I had 2 other people. George Farah, thank you for your kind words of encouragement. And my man Flex Lewis, dude, like, love you, brother, man. You're the GOAT for a reason. Both individuals kind of, encourage me to be more of who I am out there and really, give this thing a serious shot.
This was last year, this year, when did they?
This year. That was this year. I was speaking, within recent days.
That's great. I mean, you have great persona and personality, and let that out. And we've got to get you more noticed. And I mean, you've already made yourself notice on stage past two weekends. So you should be a force.
Thank you, man. Thank you. They're always telling me to talk, but the problem is I don't shut up when I start talking. So
yeah. You were great with the interview on muscular development. That was cool too.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Just me being me. Just me and my BS.
That's good. It's good that you have that. All right.
Yeah, dude, again, thank you for having me on the show, man.
Thanks for coming on. I haven't been doing this for a while. I don't know. I'll be honest with you. This is nothing. I don't know. When George died, and when other things just happened towards the end of, like Roden dying and other people, I pulled back a bit, with This Is Bodybuilding, for a number of reasons I won't get into now, but it was, I wasn't sure if I wanted to continue doing this type of thing. But going there, being at the show this week, and being around that world again, and the people, the athletes, coaches, I spoke with George Farah, Hani Rambat, all these people, and for Ron Harris to kind of invite me to do the wrap up of the 212 from MD. That was cool. I felt welcomed, and
that was a cool moment to see.
Thank you.
That was a very cool moment to see, because I was like, wow, like it goes to show that, even though you guys are not really on opposing teams, you guys all, strive towards the same goal, spread the love of bodybuilding. You guys can still come together and.
Dude, I would jump on that team any second of the day, because that's a pro. The MD is something that, I mean, I subscribe. Yeah, I subscribed to that for years. I was reading that. I've read Ron Harris's articles for years, and so it was an honor for me. So it just kind of reignited something for me as well this weekend, and I'm happy that you were the first person for this season to come on. Actually, interestingly enough, George Peterson was the first person I interviewed ever when I started doing it. So it's kind of cool that it's you this season.
Well, thank you for having me, man.
It's my pleasure.
Well, I'm honored. I'm honored to be number one.
Yeah. Well, I'm honored. All right, brother. Stay on for a second. I'm going to end the interview. Stay on, unless you had something else you wanted to talk about.
No, I'm pretty much good. I got to start my cardio. Cool. How I go. It's getting darker in here.
Okay. Oh yeah, you're an hour later than I am here. It's bright and sunny.
Yeah.
All right.
Nighttime.
Kerrith, thank you so much. I really do appreciate you coming on. Congratulations again. Best of luck for the Olympia. I hope to talk to you before then. But yeah, this sky's the limit for you, bro.
Thank you, brother.
All right.
You have a blessed day.
Thanks. Thank you. Thanks everybody for watching. This is Michael Bryson, Kerrith Bajjo. This is Bodybuilding. Take care.